action is ingrained. So I generally prefer that yoga, or rather asana practice, yoga is of course complete, but asana practice has to be done first a little bit so that the body is relaxed, जो उसमें जो तमोगुण होता है, रजोगुण होता है, वो थोड़ा शांत हो जाए, और फिर हम शांति से बैठ के ध्यान में अंदर उतर पाए. So this is one of the important things which I want all of us to know, that physical activity when done with full attention is also something that leads you to meditation. तो इसीलिए जब योगा होल्ड करते हैं, जैसे ही होल्ड बोला वैसे ही थोड़ी देर के लिए मन रुक जाता है. यस नो? यस. सो दिस इज द आउटकम ऑफ आसनास. इट्स नॉट लाइक वी डू आसनास फॉर दर्द हो रहा है, फैट लॉस और वट एवर, बट द रियल आउटकम ऑफ आसनास इज दैट यू आर एबल टू control your mind back. Control is not the right word. Manage your mind to some sense. Okay. So what did we learn today? I want you to recap first. What did we learn today? क्या सीखा? आप बता सकते हो हाथ खड़ा करके. 5 मिनट करना जरूरी है. So anyone who's not doing or anyone who's also doing, I want you to promise this one thing. Whatever happens, now, because you are meditators and you are regular, I am going to push you a little bit more. मैं usually लोगों को बोलता हूँ 5 मिनट फिजिकल एक्टिविटी करो, बट आपको मैं 2 चीजें बोलूंगा. 5 मिनट फिजिकल एक्टिविटी करो और 5 मिनट मेडिटेशन करो. Does that sound right? So I want you to keep your hands like this out. Okay. Now you have to repeat. I will. That's a good idea. You have to do both hands out. क्योंकि हम 10 minutes का कमिटमेंट ले रहे हैं ना. Thank you so much. कुछ लोग नहीं, वो नहीं कर सकते. ओके. आई विल प्रैक्टिस डेली माई योगा फॉर मिनिमम 5 minutes एंड माई मेडिटेशन प्रैक्टिस फॉर 5 minutes. डाउन. इज दैट ओके? प्रॉमिस किया है. 5 मिनट करना है, उससे ज्यादा करोगे तो अच्छा है. मैंने मिनिमम बोला, मैक्सिमम नहीं बोला. और ये कोई नहीं कोट करेगा कि हाँ सौरभ ने बोला था 5 मिनट से हो गया बस. नो, 5 मिनट मिनिमम है. जिस दिन मन नहीं कर रहा, जिस दिन टाइम नहीं है, जिस दिन ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं, इन सब केसेस में कितना देर करेंगे? मिनिमम 5 मिनट. ओके, उससे ज्यादा ही करना है. ठीक है. एंड सेकेंड थिंग, व्हाट डिड वी डिस्कस? Yes, physical activity accompanied with meditation makes it much, much more better. Third and the last thing which I want to talk about is, if you really want to, what you call, form a habit and you don't want any, like, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना कि एक चीज बता दो जिससे 100% श्योरिटी की आदत बन ही जाएगी. This is this trick. What do you do when you love something? जैसे, for example, how many of us love cricket here? Anyone? Okay, what do you do if you love cricket? Watch and also talk to. Yeah. Like if you meet someone, आप पूछोगे ना, आप जिसको पता होगा कि अच्छा क्रिकेट क्या स्कोर हुआ, आज किसकी मैच है, मुंबई दिल्ली की मैच है, whatever, right? आज सच में है शायद ना. हाँ, मुंबई दिल्ली की मैच है. 6 आउट भी हो गए. There you go. ये रियल क्रिकेट फैन, राइट? सो यू विल नो अबाउट इट एंड यू विल टॉक अबाउट इट. मैंने पूछा नहीं कितने आउट हुए, लेकिन उन्होंने बताया. Because you genuinely love to talk about something that you like. This is exactly what you should reverse engineer. If you don't like something but you want to make it a habit, you just talk about it. मेरे लिए कॉन्फ्रेंस में आके बात करना is like my personal practice of talking about it. That अब मैं आके आपके सामने बोल रहा हूँ 5 मिनट योगा करना है, 5 मिनट तो मुझे करना ही पड़ेगा, right? क्यों? This is how your mind works. If you keep saying that I do this, there is a positive reinforcement which is happening. So this is the simplest way. अच्छा, इसमें झूठ नहीं बोलना है. नहीं कर रहे फिर भी बोल रहे हैं 5 मिनट. No, that does not work. But if you practice and then you talk about it to your friends, family members, write on a WhatsApp group or social media that, hey, I did this and this was the benefit that I got. This is one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself. Is it simple? Yes, no? I'm sure everyone is already doing it. How many of us talk about meditation to others? There you go. That's why you are regular. Now I got it. Right? This is exactly what you can do for everything that you want to build as a habit. Just उसके बारे में बात करने लग जाओ. ठीक है? तो ये 3 चीजें हमने सीखी. क्या क्या सीखा बताओ? 5 मिनट करो. talk about it, and accompanied yoga and meditation has to be combined together so that it gives you better benefits. Okay, thank you so much. मुझे नहीं लगता I can share anything more to all of you. You already know. Yes. One yoga. मैं करके दिखाओ, मुझे आता ही नहीं है. देखिए, मुझे पता भी नहीं था ये, लेकिन there is some. Would you want to share this?
नहीं शेयर किया, बस यही बात है. It's common knowledge actually.
I didn't know this. I am getting. If it was common, I would have said the same
It's a
thing.
generation gap or something.
Yes. Thank you
But
so much
इसको
for
कहते हैं
educating me.
कि सरस्वती आ जाती है जुबान पे. तो
Perfect.
अगर- हाँ,
तो
and
इन्होंने
then-
ये कहा कि
और
अगर
फिर-
आप कुछ एक्शन करते हो, आई एम अज्यूमिंग अच्छा एक्शन.
हाँ, जब आप करते हो और फिर
हाँ.
कुछ कहते हो नेचुरली, तभी सरस्वती आएगी ना.
करेक्ट. सो दिस इज
That is,
दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज वॉक द टॉक. और आप
Yeah, you
जो
don't
प्रैक्टिस
have to-
करते हो, अगर आप बोलते हो तो उसका इम्पैक्ट ज्यादा होता
You
है.
don't
ये
have to-
सारी चीजें
You
यहीं
don't
से
have
आती
to
है.
tell people to do it, they will do it.
Yes.
That's what they say.
दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. अगर आप खुद प्रैक्टिस करते हो और फिर आप जाके दूसरों को भी बोलते हो कि तुम करो, तो वो अपने आप करने लग जाते हैं फिर. दैट कन्विक्शन इज बिल्ट. यस. Till you make it. Absolutely, yes. You fake it till you make it. All of these things pointed to the same thing. Do it. चाहे जो भी हो, आपका मन करे ना करे, बस कर लिया करो रोज. Thank you so much. Yes. Should I take questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone who you let me know how much time do I have, because the timer is not working here.
One or two questions.
One or
we
two
can always
questions I
take.
can take if anyone. Laughter therapy. वो क्लास में होगी. Box breathing should we do? I would love to practice with all of us. So one breathing technique that I strongly recommend is called box breathing. How many of us already know? मैं जा रहा हूं यहां से. आप लोगों को सब कुछ पहले से पता है. अच्छा मेरी That's nice. मेरी वजह से पता है. How many of us don't know, have not heard this term before? Box breathing. Oh no, I think we can do it. So box मतलब क्या होता है? Square. Okay. There are 4 steps to our breathing. हाँ, perfect. There are 4 steps to our breathing. Can anyone tell me what are the 4 steps? Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Simple. कुंभक बोलते हैं उसको योग टर्मिनोलॉजी में. तो हमको सांस लेना है, सांस रोक के रखना है, सांस छोड़ना है और सांस रोक के रखना है. ये प्रोसेस को अगर आप पहले 2 चीजों में 5-5 मिनट दे पा रहे हो और आपको और एड ऑन करना है, तो 5 मिनट का और प्रोसेस है ये. So you can practice it anytime, anywhere. Just don't do it immediately after eating food. तो वो आप मत करिएगा. बट उसके अलावा आप कहीं पे भी कर सकते हो. गाड़ी चलाते हुए भी नहीं कर सकते हो. बाकी सब चलेगा. अभी हम प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं. विल स्टार्ट विद अ काउंट ऑफ 3. तो बेसिकली 3 सेकंड के लिए सांस लेनी है, 3 सेकंड रोकना है, 3 सेकंड छोड़ना है, 3 सेकंड रोकना है. ठीक है. चलो आंखें बंद कर सकते हैं, या एक दो राउंड आंखें खोल के देख लेते हैं, फिर साथ में करेंगे. टेक अ डीप ब्रेथ इन फर्स्ट. Breathe out. Empty your lungs completely. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3. Out. 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3. Relax. कर पाए? Show me a thumbs up, everyone. Perfect. Can we increase it to 4? Yes? Okay, perfect. Breathe out completely again. Together, breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Eyes closed. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Slightly slower. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Last round. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Hold. Relax. And you can slowly open your eyes. Yeah, matlab, clap for yourself if you want to. For doing it. Yes. So now, if you want to, a good way to do it is you go from gross level, which is your body, then your breath and then the mind. तो ऐसे अगर आप जाते हो तो शरीर के लिए आप थोड़े आसन करो, सांसों के लिए आप थोड़ा प्राणायाम करो और मन के लिए थोड़ा सा ध्यान करो. तो ये आपका स्ट्रक्चर काफी अच्छा आ जाता है. ऐसा कुछ फिक्स नहीं है. लोग बोलते हैं कि आपको तरीके से ही करना चाहिए. बहुत ज्यादा तरीके से करने की कोशिश करते हैं तो आदत नहीं बनती है. तरीके से करने की कोशिश तभी करेंगे जब आप एक लेवल तक पहुंच जाए. KG2 में होते हैं जब हम छोटे बच्चे, तो कुछ भी करो तो चलता है, बट करो, दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you so much. It was a lovely experience. I think everybody enjoyed a lot. I would like to call Dave Virapati sir, CEO of S2 Technologies. He has come specially from St. Louis to attend the conference. And Chandraji.
So a few minutes of practice, you made it all doers. We wish that your lakhs of people make meditation a daily practice. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Yes. So friends, Dr. Sarah Laser, whose presentation is there, right? Sarah Laser's presentation is there now. She is considered one of the most research that have came out in the year 2005, considered one of the most landmark study in the neuroscience research, which is quoted, used, and then subsequently been followed up with several people doing this research around neuroscience and how meditation can significantly change the brain and the body, and then primarily in the brain research that she has done in the year 2005. And she's a very known scientist from Harvard, and then she is there doing this presentation online. And so we're going to continue the session. That's how the plan, this is designed. And so when she is waiting, we are about 15 minutes behind the schedule. So please introduce Dr. Sarah Laser, and we'll continue our talk.
Dr. Sarah W. Laser, PhD, is an associate researcher in the psychiatry department at Massachusetts General Hospital and an assistant professor in psychology at Harvard Medical College. The focus of her research is to elucidate the neural mechanisms underlying the beneficial effects of yoga and meditation, both in clinical settings and in healthy individuals. She is a contributing author to meditation and psychotherapy. She has been practicing yoga and mindfulness meditation since 1994. Her research has been covered by numerous news outlets, including the New York Times, USA Today, CNN, and WebMD. And her work has been featured in a display at the Boston Museum of Science. Let's give a huge round of applause to her, and we welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you. I want to apologize for my background. I'm traveling and I'm in a hotel room, so it's a little bit weird in back. Okay, So I'm going to share some slides. Can you all see that?
Yes, we see.
Excellent. Good.
Yes, Dr. Sarah.
Okay. And there we go. All right. I thought I would start off because everyone always asks me, how did I start practicing? And just to give you some background about me. So I was a runner, and a friend and I decided to run the Boston Marathon. And we overtrained, and I destroyed my knee, my lower back. And I went to see a physical therapist, and they told me I had to stop running and just stretch. And this was 30 years ago. And, I wasn't too keen on stretch. I mean, I always, stretched before and after I ran. But, I wanted to stay in shape and still run the marathon. So I thought about, well, maybe trying to do some aerobics or something like that. But I happened to find an ad for a vigorous yoga class that promised to promote strength and flexibility, but also endurance. So I thought, okay, this is a great way to just stretch and stay in shape and still run the marathon. So I went to that first yoga class, and at that point, again, this is 30 years ago, and I didn't know anything about yoga. And the teacher said, this pose will do this for you, this pose will do that for you. I was like, yeah, I'm here to just stretch. But after a few weeks, I started noticing I was calmer, I was less reactive. Things were changing inside of me, and I didn't understand it. And I'd been a runner for many years. I always stretched before and after I ran. So I knew it wasn't exercise. I knew it wasn't the stretching. There was something different about yoga. And so after I finished and I never ran the marathon. I really got into yoga, and I continued doing yoga and meditation and never went back to running. And when I finished my PhD, I switched and started doing this research, and I've been doing this research ever since. So now, I've heard this phrase so many times: meditation completely changed my life. Yoga completely changed my life. And it did. That's what happened to me. It was, like I said, I saw the world in a whole new way, and I couldn't explain it. But I knew that something in my brain had changed, and that I was seeing the world in a new way. And so I really wanted to do research on the brain. And at that point, there had been a lot of research with the EEG, but it was alphabet soup. One study would find increased alpha, another study would find decreased alpha. One study would find increased beta, one study would find decreased beta. And so it was really hard to understand what was going on. And so I was hoping that maybe a different tool, because a new tool had been developed, and so I thought maybe this tool could help us. And that was MRI. And so we wondered, because people very quickly report changes after just a few weeks. And there had been some research on something called MBSR, which stands for Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction, which is a secular 8-week program that combines mindfulness meditation and very slow hatha yoga with a little bit of health education and psychoeducation about stress. And it was highly effective for reducing stress, anxiety, depression. And so we wondered, could it change the brain? And the short answer is yes. People either went through this 8-week program, or we just scanned them 8 weeks apart. And what we found is that compared to the control group, there were several brain regions where there was more gray matter in the meditation and yoga group compared to the controls. What are these regions? This area here, the posterior cingulate, it's all about self-related processes. So it's mind wandering, but also, how is this relevant to me? And we found an increase in gray matter. And at first that was a bit of a head scratcher, because those are, mind wandering and being about me are things that are supposed to go down with meditation and yoga. What we know now is that this region gets turned off during meditation. And we know, because this is gray matter, this is a structure of the brain, like how big is this brain area? And we know sometimes more neurons means more activity, but there's also inhibitory neurons. And so sometimes more gray matter means less activity. And so in this case, we think it has to do with decreasing this area and quieting it down. The second region we found was something called the supramarginal gyrus, which is involved in perspective taking and seeing things from other people's point of view. It's important for empathy and compassion. And it's also about, do I pay attention to my inside world or my outside world? The third region we found was the hippocampus, which is involved in learning and memory. And what's interesting is that these three regions together make up something called the default mode network. And so the default mode network is, as the name implies, when you're standing in line at the grocery store and just letting your mind wander, nowhere in particular, these are the brain regions that are on, right? Or if, you're sitting, and not meditating, but just like sitting on a beach, right? And just enjoying the breeze and the experience. These are the regions that are on. And they create the sense of self. And so this gave us a hint very early on that something about the self part of the brain was shifting and changing after just 8 weeks. And we're going to be talking more about these brain regions in the next parts of the talk. We also found, though, that this part of the brain, which is the amygdala, got smaller. The amygdala is, you often hear about fight, flight, or freeze. The amygdala is the part of the brain that's all about that decision making. It's turned on in anxiety. It's turned on in arousal in general. And what we found is that the change in this brain region correlated with stress. So the smaller it became, the more stress reduction people reported. And this was important because up until this point, a lot of people said, well, it's been 2 months. Of course their stress is gone, right? Or if they paid a lot of money for this program, so, they're invested in making it work. But this really suggested that no, their stress was related to a change in their brain. And there were some people who actually had increases in stress, and they had increases in their amygdala. But most people, there was a decrease in stress and a decrease in their amygdala. We also found this brain region here in the brainstem. This is the area where serotonin and dopamine is produced. We didn't measure those molecules. They're produced but also regulated there. And we found that this change correlated with well-being. So the more this changed, the more people said that they felt satisfied with their life, even though nothing had changed in their life. And so it suggests, again, that somehow meditation is altering these molecules, and that this is how it works. And so it's both good for reducing stress by turning down the fear and anxiety part of the brain and turning up the well-being part of the brain. All right, so this first study, we just looked at the structure of the brain, but we didn't know what those yellow blobs meant. We could wave our hands and guess, but could we actually demonstrate some of this? And so what we did is we compared this 8-week program, MBSR, to exercise. And we did this because before this, there had been many studies that had just like ours that had compared, meditation and yoga programs to wait lists. And, the question was, well, a lot of people say to me, well, exercise is my meditation. I don't need to meditate because I exercise. And we know that exercise is great for stress reduction. So the question is it the same? Like, is it just doing the exact same thing? Is one better than the other? Or are they working differently somehow? And so people were randomized to either this 8-week program or to an exercise program. And we did a fear conditioning protocol before and after. And I'll explain what that is in a minute. And all the subjects were told that there's no control group, which is true because exercise is highly effective. The exercise group also got information about diet and sleep hygiene, positive attitude and humor. And so it was really a whole lifestyle intervention. It wasn't just exercise. And they're both told to practice for 40 minutes a day at home. So the MBSR group practiced either yoga or meditation for 40 minutes a day, and the exercise group either exercised or read some materials every day. And what we saw was that both groups reduced stress exactly the same. There was no difference in terms of stress reduction, which again is great because we know that exercise is highly effective for reducing stress. So it suggests that the effects are comparable. But we also asked some other questions, including a question about difficulty with emotion regulation and anxiety. And what we saw was that in the exercise group, there was basically no change in these measures, but there's a significant decrease in a mindfulness group. So it really suggests, this is our first clue, that they're not the same, that somehow they're doing something a little bit different, and that mindfulness is giving a We also found that the amount of home practice correlated with these changes in stress and the changes in emotion regulation. So the more people practice, the more benefit they got. All right, the sphere conditioning protocol. So you probably have heard of Pavlov's dogs. In Pavlov, the dog, normally dogs don't salivate when you hear a bell. But if every time you feed a dog, you ring a bell, they learn that the bell means I'm going to be fed. And so then when they hear a bell, they start salivating, even though they're not being fed. So we're going to do the exact same thing, but instead of bells, we're going to use lights. And instead of food, we're going to use a very mild electric shock. I know that sounds horrible. It's very, on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 3 or a 4. It's very mild pain. And what we do is they lie in the MRI scanner and they see lights, and then a second later, they either get shocked or don't get shocked. So in this case, when they saw blue lights, they didn't get shocked. But they saw red or yellow lights, they did get shocked. And the colors varied. Some people got shocked to blue and yellow, and red was safe. And we had some other colors in there as well. So it wasn't that red light always meant there was danger. Then we showed them the red light, but we didn't shock them. And we showed them the blue light, but we didn't show them the yellow light. So first they learned red light means I'm going to get shocked. Then they learned red light means I'm safe. Yellow light, they have no new information, so yellow light still means I'm going to get shocked probably. They go home. They come back the next day. We show them the lights, all 3 lights, but we don't shock them. And the question is, how do they respond to the red light? Because if they have learned that red light means I'm safe, then here their response to the red light should look like the response to the blue light. But if they've forgotten and they're fearful, then the response to the red light will look like the response to the yellow light. And what we know is that people with anxiety and depression, they forget. So people with anxiety and depression, they look more like the yellow light, versus people who are not anxious and depressed, red light looks more like blue light. So what happens after this 8-week program? What we saw was that the mindfulness group, there was a significant change. So they were better able to remember that red light means I'm safe. The control group, there was no difference. So again, this is a difference between exercise and mindfulness, that it's conferring this better ability to remember important information. And there was a significant group difference. And this is important because we know that in talk therapy, if people say have spider phobias or people with PTSD who've experienced trauma, the only way to overcome that is to learn that whatever is causing them anxiety, it's not real, it's in the past, it's just their mind. And so and so there's something called extinction therapy. But in order for extinction therapy to work, you have to pay attention to it in this open, non-judgmental way. And this really suggests that mindfulness helps with that, more so than exercise. And this is important for helping people with clinical anxiety. what we found was that a change in the response, that change between the red light and the yellow light, correlated with changes in stress. So the more that the red light and the blue light looked the same, the more stress reduction people reported. And also we found changes in the amygdala, right? That's the fight, flight, or freeze part of the brain. That the structure of that, again, was related to this change. So the more that the amygdala changed, they were better able to remember that red light means I'm safe. We also then looked at brain activity, and we said, okay, well, what is the amygdala talking to? So the yellow is the area of the brain that was more active in the mindfulness group, and the pink is the area that was more active in the control group. And this is the area of the brain that represents the hand, where the shock was happening, versus this pink area is the part of the brain that's involved in visual attention and sort of vigilance, sort of anxious visual attention. And what we see is that the mindfulness group is paying attention to their hand, even though they're not being shocked, versus, the control group is more just paying attention to the lights and trying to figure out what's happening. And so what this suggests is that because what you do with mindfulness is you're paying attention to your body. In yoga, you learn to habitually pay attention to your body. And we didn't tell them what to do in the scanner. So this suggests that spontaneously, the mindfulness group was paying attention to their body because they were trained for 2 months to pay attention to their body, versus the controls were out of their body and were instead, checking out the environment and trying to figure out where the danger was, rather than just relaxing and being okay with it and just seeing what was actually happening to their actual body. Right, so this really does suggest that this mindfulness of the body and the yoga and the meditation practice has benefits. Obviously it has the physical benefits and the immediate effects, but it's training how we interact with the world in a way that is conducive to better emotion regulation. All right. So now we know that meditation is really good for cognition. And one of the first studies I did was we looked at long-term meditation practitioners versus controls. And we found several brain regions where there was more gray matter in the long-term meditators versus the controls. And what's really interesting, what we found is that 2 of these brain regions, what we saw here, so the red is the controls and the blue is the meditators. And we know the whole front half of the brain shrinks as we get older. And that's why as we get older, things get a little bit harder for us to remember, and we're maybe not quite as quick on our feet as we used to be. And what we see is that, in these brain regions, most of the brain, that was true. Like most of the brain region, there's no difference between the groups. But in these brain regions, there was a difference. And what we see is that the 50-year-old meditators had the same amount of gray matter as the 20-year-olds in this frontal region. And then here in this big region, it went down a little bit, but it was slower than in the controls. And what's really interesting is that this brain region in particular here, this is the brain region associated with fluid intelligence. What is fluid intelligence? Fluid intelligence is being able to take information and solve problems. It's what's often referred to as IQ, right? And so this first study, because we weren't expecting this, right? We didn't give them any sort of test. We just looked at their brain. IQ test. This is the controls. And again, we see IQ going with age. It also went, and we had 3 groups. So there's the controls, there was long-term meditation practitioners and long-term yoga practitioners. I'll say more about that in a second. But basically what we see is that there's no difference between the 2, the yoga and the meditation group, but both of them were significantly different than the controls. And again, it does go down a little bit with age, but it's nowhere near as pronounced as with the controls. So I'm talking to you in India, and so I know many of you are thinking meditation is yoga, yoga is meditation. So, which is true. Here in the States, often, when we talk about yoga, we really just talk about asana practice. And then, so the yoga group is a group that mostly practiced Kripalu yoga, which is a slow hatha yoga. A lot of them do a little bit of meditation, but mostly it's an asana practice. And then the meditation group was people who practice Vipassana, Buddhist meditation. And so it really is mostly just a sitting practice, and there was no asana with it. But like I said, statistically, there's no difference between these two groups. The yoga group was slightly higher than the meditation group. And so that might be because there's an exercise component. By chance, the yogis had twice as many lifetime hours of practice compared to the meditators. So, plus it's cross-sectional. So we just looked at people one time. So it could be that people who choose to do yoga are wiser, have more fluid intelligence than people who choose to do the Buddhist meditation. There's all sorts of reasons why there could be slight differences. But statistically, there's no difference. All right, so now the question was, well, these are long-term meditators. Could we show a change over 8 weeks? And so what we did was we recruited people who were 60 to 85 years old, and we put them through this 8-week program, and we gave them a test of fluid intelligence, as well as some other tests. And we followed them for 2 years. And what we see is that in the meditation group, there was a significant increase from pre to post in fluid intelligence, and it continued over the 2 years. The control group was doing crossword puzzles and Sudoku, these sorts of things. We saw virtually no change in that group. A little bit at the very end, but nothing compared to what we saw with the meditation group. And what was interesting is that in the meditation group, we told people to practice every day. On average, they practiced about 5 to 6 days a week during the initial 8 weeks. But then over the next 2 years, it dropped down to only about 3 times a week. But they continue to improve. Versus the brain gains group, they're doing crossword puzzles every day. And so they continued doing, like almost everyone continued doing crossword puzzles every day. And yet it didn't help them over the 2 years. In terms of the brain, what we saw was this change in the default mode network, right? That's that brain region that's all about me, it's about mind wandering. And what we saw was that over time, that went down in the meditation group, and there was no change in the brain gains group. And so as that default mode network got quieter and quieter, that's what contributed to this increase in the intelligence. So they're turning off, they're trying to figure it out and thinking about things, and just letting wisdom do its job, right? And that seems to be beneficial. Versus the brain games, none of that was happening. We also gave them a test of sustained attention. So this is a really boring task where for 16 minutes they just saw pictures of either cities or mountains. And most of the pictures were cities. And like every 5 to 10 pictures, there'd be a picture of a mountain. And the instruction was, if you see a city, press the button. If you don't see a city, if you see a mountain, don't press the button. And they did that for 16 minutes. And what we saw was that over the first 2 months, the first 8 weeks, both groups got better. But then the controls, that was it. They maintained for a year, but then they got worse and worse and worse. But again, the meditation group got better and better and better over the 2 years. And this makes sense because meditation is kind of boring, and you learn to, okay, it's boring, but you just stick with it. And we're really seeing that this it continues to accrue. And then what we found was cognition. And again, what we see is that the change in the global cognition score related to changes in brain activity in the mindfulness group versus no or little change in the cognition group. And these are areas, again, involved in sort of high-level evaluation and whatnot. And so it really does suggest that, that meditation, although it's a form of cognitive training and mental training, it's different than other forms of mental training. It's a mental exercise, but it's different than physical exercise. And so we conclude from all of this is that it's more effective than exercise for fear and anxiety. Mindfulness of the body is key for learning not to fear, right? And this really is this body awareness that we learn over time that really seems to be the key for the benefits. And we're shifting from thinking about and defending against threat to just experiencing it openly with equanimity. And you're never too old to start. And with that, I'll say thank you. And I'll stop the show.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing those insightful neuroscience research. Very interesting. Distance didn't stop us from learning or listening to you, so let it not stop us from felicitating you as well. I request Rakesh Jalmani, sir, to come forward and speak a few words. I also invite Dr. Sai Kripa Sagar, sir, to virtually felicitate Dr. Sara Laser.
Okay, Dr. Sara, are you able to see me?
Yes, hi.
Yes, hi. I am the person who was interacting with you on email. So now you have a face to the email ID as well. Thank you very much for your very prompt responses over email. Before we first, thank you very much for accepting to do this on your Saturday morning. And then thanks very much for responding to emails very promptly. And then thank you very much for a wonderful session. See, Buddha CEO, we take our goal is to take meditation to corporates. And for corporates, we need scientific data. And your 8-week study is what we have quoted hundreds or thousands of times in all our workshops and sessions. We're very, very grateful, very, very thankful for that. And of course, your wonderful slides and completely scientific manner with all the pictures, all the data is amazing. We will follow through with you to see how we can use those data as we take it to corporations. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
If you are here, we would have had a shawl around you and given you a memento. Unfortunately, we are not able to do it. But please accept this as our grateful thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're not too sleepy and you've all had tea. Get this better. So I'm repeating myself. Good evening, everyone. There's no answer, no response. Hope you all had tea. Good. Yeah. So the next session and the concluding session is a very important one, and it's about relationships. Actually, meditation itself is also about relationships, and that is the relationship you have with yourself. Because meditation, then you look within yourself, find out where you are in life. Have you achieved your goals? Have you come up to your expectations? So I think in that sense, meditation is a very rewarding relationship. We can use it as a tool to go within and find out and assess ourselves of where we are in life and whether we've kept our promises to ourselves. Further than that, relationships often act as mirrors, reflecting our inner patterns, our wounds, and opportunities for growth. For example, our anger or our jealousy or our helpfulness, both positive, negative qualities, they all reflect on how we interact and where we are in our stage of evolution. Very fittingly, the last session of this day, final session, it's also deeply experiential. It's about conscious relationships, conflict resolution, and stillness practice. I would like to add here that very often when we say the word conflict, we look upon it as negative. But conflict is neither negative nor positive. It's neutral. What gives color to conflict is conflict resolution. How do you handle conflict? How do you deal with conflict? And so if you would use violence to handle conflict, it becomes bad. You use non-violence, it becomes good. So actually conflict can actually be a process of growth for the individual. Two people are here whom we admire very much. We all love you very much. So I'm talking about Dr. I should say Lakshmi Newton Kondawati first, since I'm a feminist. And then I would like to invite also Dr. Newton Kondawati. And I know he's very fond of his life partner. I'm sure he doesn't mind this. So please come onto the stage. I welcome you. We're all very much looking forward to this session. Please come. I think I would like to call Lakshmi ma'am as, let her come up and then I'll say it. So Lakshmi ma'am, I think we would like to characterize you as the smiling lady. Because I've always seen you smile, no matter what the time of the day, and where it doesn't. I never feel if she's tired or whatever. So it's the.
Okay, later maybe when I use it. Right. Okay. Okay, that's right. Okay.
Thank you. And so whenever you're here, we can feel the understanding between you two, and we're very grateful to have you here. A little bit about their professional life. Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi Newton are medical doctors by qualification. And please sit, please. Both of them are medical doctors by qualification and spiritual scientists by choice. They are the founders of Life Foundation and Quantum Life University, popularly known as QLU, the first spiritual science university in the modern world. I think it's a beautiful trendsetter. They are also pioneers in past life regression research. They've explored its therapeutic applications extensively. Their books cover various topics of spiritual science, including meditation, self-healing, reincarnation, the law of karma, and inner awakening. They travel globally, sharing their wisdom through residential retreats and intensive training programs. So let us welcome them once more as they guide us through this transformative session. So this is over to you. Very welcome once again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Once again, namaskar to all of you, my dear friends. Conscious relationship. Are you excited about this topic? I want to see your excitement. Yes. Whoever has selected this topic, I just want to thank them, because this is the burning topic right now in the present society. Relationship problems, relationship issues, whether the relationship issue is between two individuals, two organizations, two countries. We can see what's happening around the world. So my dear friends, I just want to ask you a few questions, and you have to be authentic. How many of you felt at one point in your life, why did I attract this wife in my life?
Even the other way.
Other way. How many of you felt, oh my God, what did I do in my past? Yes, I will not do that. How many of you felt that, oh, my children, my son is bothering me so much, my daughter? Why did I attract this son, this daughter into my life? Or even in organizations, how many times as a boss you felt, oh my God, this secretary, why she is bothering me so much? So friends, it's all about relationships. Yes, meditation is a way to connect with ourselves and to make a beautiful connection with ourselves. But what about other relationships? So how many of you look into the mirror every day? I think this you can raise your hands. We all look into the mirror. And one day you found that the image you're seeing in the mirror is not okay. You didn't like your image in the mirror. And what you tried to do, oh, this image is not okay. Let me bring a new mirror with a silver lining. And the next day you brought a beautiful, beautiful, expensive mirror with silver lining and you looked at yourself. Will the image change? No. And the next day you thought, no, something is wrong with this mirror also. Let me buy a mirror with a gold lining. And you brought this mirror with a gold lining and you started looking into the mirror. Will the image change? No. It is so simple. Right? But how come in our life, when we understand that every relationship is a mirror, and if a particular relationship is not working, we are trying to change that person. Oh my God, I'm fed up with this husband, with this wife. Let me find a new wife. Let me find a new partner. Let me find a new husband. And we are trying to change. But nothing changes. So friends, the beautiful topic we are going to offer today is so simple, so practical. We all need to understand that our relationships are mirrors. Each and every relationship that is bothering you in your life is a mirror. And that mirror is trying to teach us a lesson. That mirror is trying to offer us a lesson. So are you ready to learn this lesson? Are you ready to look into that mirror? And to understand what is it that you need to change within yourself? Sometimes we also see youngsters nowadays. They're all searching for the perfect soulmate. Many young girls, they come to us and they say, I want the perfect man. Young boys are coming and asking us, I want the perfect woman. They're just searching. So I just want to share this joke about Mullah Nasruddin. He was 35 years old, but still not married. So one of his friends asked him, why you're not getting married? And he said, I'm searching for the perfect soulmate. I'm searching for the past so many years, but still I'm not finding. So what qualities you want? He said, that girl should be very beautiful. And that girl should be very spiritual. I'm searching for such a girl. So after 6 months, this friend meets Mullah Nasruddin and asks, what happened? You didn't meet a girl like that? He said, yes, I met a girl. She's very beautiful, but she's not spiritual. I'm looking for a spiritual girl. And after 1 year, again this friend meets him and asks, what happened now? He said, yes, I found a spiritual girl, but she's not beautiful. So after 2 years again, this friend meets him and asks, what happened now? You have been searching for a perfect girl. You didn't find even one? He said, yes, I found a girl who is so beautiful, who is so spiritual. So then the friend asked, then the problem is solved. Did you marry that girl? No, that didn't happen because she is searching for a perfect man. So friends, we just need to understand that each and every relationship in our life is offering us a lesson. It is offering us an opportunity to change, to transform. When you understand that, there is nothing called perfectionism. Right? We are here to become better and better and better and better and better and better. That's it. And each and every relationship in our life, that is triggering us, that is bothering us, is giving that opportunity for personal transformation. So let us try to understand more about these mirrors. Over to Dr. Newton.
Thank you. Wow. So mirrors. So one couple, they had a fight. And husband said, oh, last night it was so disturbing because there is a female mosquito in our room. And wife got puzzled. How could you determine it's a female mosquito? Male mosquito, female mosquito. And husband said, oh, it is constantly on the mirror. This mosquito is not moving from there. It's coming and around my ears and bothering me all night and again staying in the mirror. That's how I could determine the gender of the mosquito. So when Dr. Lakshmi said, all relationships are mirrors, sacred mirrors. They're very sacred. Every relationship is so beautiful on planet Earth. One place on planet Earth where you feel very, very happy is Vrindavan. It's one place, everyone must visit that place, where Radha Krishna stayed there. The moment you step into that land, it makes you joyful. Even though you don't meet Radha Krishna in physical form, but it is contagious. The joy in every sand particle, everywhere on that land, there is joy, there is happiness. The three things which makes us very happy in life. Number one, when you see a happy couple, it makes us so joyful to see just happy couple, not a fighting couple, happy couple. It brings joy. You want to see them. You see Parvati and Parameshwar there. You see Radha Mata and Sri Krishna. And also Lakshmi Mata and Vishnu Bhagwan. Also we see Saraswati Mata and Brahma. Yeah, yes, I found her. I'm happy that I found Dr. Lakshmi in my life. Wow. So, my dear friends, is it really possible to have such sacredness in our relationships? Relationships is such a broader, not just only couple relationship. As Dr. Lakshmi said, it is the relationship, parents and children, and brothers and sisters, and also wife and husband, and also it is between families, and it is also in the company, in the organizations, relationships in the organizations, and also in the broader community, in the social community, the relationships, or it is between countries. It is not just only pertain to only couple relationship. But there are wonderful keys. Yes, it is possible to live like Radha Krishna. It is possible to live as two complete beings who are sharing joy together. For very conscious beings, who are awakened beings, who are in the path of, growth, path of growth. Growing means it's not just only physical growth, but it is the overall growth. Those who are in this path, it is possible that they awaken themselves to find their completeness. They recognize their inner wholeness. So I found long back on my search a master who was practicing conscious relationships. When I look at my guru, my hero, my spiritual hero, none other than Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Without the Guru, there is no one who can be a role model to us, who can show us. We need a living example. Otherwise, we are like going in a blind way. We don't know where to go. People say thousands and thousands of things, but we need a living example. I seen that how much Patriji respects, how much he cares, how much compassion he shows for every human being. He really practices. Whatever he teaches, he practiced. He practices it. So I was so inspired. How could someone, I met him when he was 45 years age. I was 19-year-old at the time. I was non-believer of spirituality at the time. I come from an atheistic background. I don't know spirituality. I don't know meditation. I don't have any religion. My father is coming from the science background. I thought there's no God. There's nothing that exists beyond these five senses. That's it. My father named me Newton, a scientist's name. That's why I don't believe anything else. I have to follow my footsteps of my fathers. But when I met Patriji, what actually made me to be interested in whatever he is offering is his friendship. I was a kid. He was such a giant. He is an awakened, enlightened master. He extended his hand, shaken my hands, hugged me, and spent 2 hours of time with me. He made me to sit down and meditate. Who will do, who has time in this world to give me 2 hours of his precious time? That to a very young person. I never met him. He was meeting me for the first time. I'm medical student at that time. That is it touched me. Nobody else I met so far before that. I never met any such human being who is so respectful with each and everyone, equality with everyone. He is equal with everyone. So I believe that this is possible. Conscious relations, conscious friendship, conscious, it's a ship. On a ship, everyone can go together. A ship can drown in the big ocean if there are conflicts which are not resolved. The threshold, the load of conflict, which is beyond a threshold point, it can lead to a war. Sometimes wars happen in the homes. Between mother and father, children, many children, they watch that. The big war is happening. The furniture is broken, dinner plates are going in the line, flying saucers, flying everywhere. We see that screaming, shouting, and everything. A war is happening every home. Why Hitler has become a Hitler? Do you know the reason why? Why Hitler became a Hitler? If you read his autobiography, we'll understand many dimensions of Hitler. In the home, every time he has only watched the fights, big wars in the family. That's it. Mother scolding all the time. Very abusive language used to be used towards Hitler. He was a small kid. Father used to every day beat him with a leather belt, beat him, beat him. He has to become like a Hitler, very violent. He has become very violent being. So all the violence is birthed from homes, from the families, where there are a lot of unconscious relationships. Unconsciousness predominates. Unconsciousness comes up. In the unconsciousness, there's so much fear. Most of the relationships are fear-based. Very fear-based. Right now, we are driven by fear. We see that. But relationships can be heart-based, soul-based. A beautiful Vrindavan can be created on planet Earth. So Dr. Lakshmi beautifully said, by changing the mirrors, you will not be really seeing a new face of yourself. By changing yourself, by transforming yourself, mirrors will change around you. Everything is a reflection of you. You are meeting your own self. You are your own worst enemy. You are your own best friend. You meet yourself. So if you are attracting a person who is scolding you, we need to just pause and reflect. Okay, in that moment, instead going into a reactive state, in just nanoseconds, you can have a realization. What is that vibration in me which attracted this kind of, a critical kind of blaming person in front of me? Okay.
Yeah. So each relationship is mirroring to us our unhealed wounds, our patterns, our negative belief systems. I just want to share this case study about a little girl. She was approximately 6-7 years old, and every day what was happening was, father was an alcoholic. He used to drink alcohol, come home, and hit his wife. Every day the same thing was happening. And this little girl was watching this show every day. And she was so angry at the father, because the father never cared for the mother, never cared for her. So she felt rejected. But in that moment, because mother was so weak, mother was so vulnerable, she took up the role of the protector. She wanted to protect the mother at any cost. And she suppressed all her anger, she suppressed all her pain, and continued to live her life like that. And then one day she felt, oh my God, how long I have to live in this house, carrying this pain, seeing both of them fighting like this, abusing each other. I just want to run away from them. So what she did is, she just started performing very well. She was number one in her studies. She started excelling. Everybody thought, wow, this child is so intelligent. She's the first ranker. Everybody started seeing only that. She started excelling in her studies. She did some wonderful things. And then she got a job, a wonderful job, corporate job. And she just left to USA because she got a wonderful job with an excellent salary. And she moved away from the family. So her only intention was to move away from this mother and father, to find some peace somewhere very far on this planet Earth, so that they could not reach her. So that's wonderful. If you look at it superficially, it is so wonderful. Yes, she is so successful. Academically, she got a wonderful job. That's what we look at nowadays, right? A very superficial level. So then she went to USA. She started doing her job. She thought, oh my God, now all my problems are solved. No mother, no father, no fighting. So then what happened? When she joined her job there, She felt everything is absolutely fine. Wow, I'm independent now. I can live my life. I can be very happy. After 1 year, she met this colleague in her office, and there was an instant attraction. They got attracted to each other. And she felt, wow, so wonderful. A person who understands me. I found my soulmate. She was so happy. And they came together and they got married within 6 months. Because that's what she was missing in her life. And immediately after the marriage, she realized that husband is exactly like her father. Exactly. He is an alcoholic. He is very abusive. He always says, I don't care for you. I don't love you. I don't know why I got married to you. Wow, what is this? Exactly the father. Exactly. It's as if she married her father. So friends, how can you explain this? There's no logic in this. So, it is very clear that that husband, that man who came into her life is a mirror of her anger that she is carrying towards her father. The rejection she felt with her father, the aggressiveness she could not express, that pain she is holding within herself, the pain she suppressed. So, that mirror had to come into her life, right? Otherwise, how will she heal those unhealed wounds? So this was such an amazing case study. And she realized that, oh my God, this is all coming. I didn't heal my issues with my father and I ran away, and see how the universe brought me this mirror. And this mirror is telling me, you can't run away. You have to heal your connection with your father. And then she worked on herself, she worked on her issues, and she healed her relationship with her father. And everything shifted in her life.
So all relationships are sacred. This is the first principle, sutra. We need to remember. Very, very sacred. We don't need to be scared of relationships. Many people, they don't get married because they're very scared. They have seen couple always fighting, unhappy couple. So, there are two possibilities. If you get married, your nagging wife, troubling wife, will open the doors of wisdom for you. You will become a meditator, you will be realized. And otherwise, your wife, who is very cooperative, very wonderful, very spiritual, together you will also grow together. You will have great kalyan. You will do loka kalyan also. You will be anyway enlightened, whether you get married or, yeah. So, marriage is really beautiful. Many, they think it's, oh, why I should get married. Many youngsters nowadays we see that they only want living relationships, that's all. No commitment, nothing, we live together. But we don't want to commit. It's changing, why there is, people have fear of intimacy. Fear of getting closer to other human being, fear of showing their vulnerable side, fear of expression. They're very scared, very fearful. So we spend so much of money about the divorces that are happening, such a phenomenal rate, everywhere around the globe. Before, in India, it was more stable. Relationships are much more stable. Now we are also going through the same kind of phase. India is such a great example for the whole globe, because a country which has values, country which has deep wisdom. And rishis and all the yogis in India always following the Gruhastha Dharma. They are always a couple. Whether it is Vasishtha Maharshi, Vishwamitra, to every master that you find, they always honor their wives. That's why all the gods that you see, they are always a couple. They are always couple. They are very happy couple. So you find in India, in the ancient times, this is such a beautiful conscious relationships were practiced. They're very aware that without Shakti, there is no Chaitanya, there is no Purusha Prakriti. This entire union of these two things is the entire creation. The principle of creation is this. Purusha and Prakriti. They unite and form this creation, entire creation. So, a woman represents the Shakti. A masculine principle, Purush, represents Chaitanya. Whether it is Sita Rama Kalyan, whether it is Ardhanarishwara Tattva, Parvati Mata or Lord Shiva, Shiv Bhagavan, it is Purusha and Prakriti, both together. So it is possible again to restore what we already had in India and also inspire entire world to have such fulfilling and very beautiful conscious relationships. And the conscious relation, second principle, they are not only just sacred, they are spiritual catalysts, spiritual growth enablers. All relationships, they serve a beautiful purpose. Without that, why should we have relationship? When we are incarnating, why this dynamic that is existing? There is a law of attraction. There is attraction between man and woman. Why? Creation stops without this attraction. If they are both are born as the same, there is no attraction. There must be some difference. Man and woman, biologically speaking, man has, male hormones called testosterone and androgens. Female has estrogens. There is so much of not only biological, but it is also in the mind, how they perceive the world. It is completely different. That's why there is always, when there is not the sameness, there is a...
Woman wants time, men want space.
Yeah. Whenever woman asks for time, husband says, oh, I need my space. I don't have much time. I'm very busy. I don't have time. And a woman puts down the husband, criticizes the husband. Biologically, what happens to the husband is, husband's testosterone androgen levels goes down. Research shows that. They shut down, they go into depression. The wife coming, oh, you are good for nothing, you are not doing job, you are waste fellow, my father is a hero, you are a zero. And she compares all the time with others. Putting down the man, it makes the man completely emasculization, this phenomenon called. Biologically, their hormone levels goes down. Not only that, their entire, that expression of themselves, their potential is going to be very much, limited in that moment. And what happens in a woman when she becomes aggressive? Her estrogen levels goes down, androgen levels goes up. Couple dynamics are very interesting. A couple, man is always, dominating, husband is there. After 50 or 60, suddenly woman becomes like a aggressor. She is very aggressive. She is the commander. And husband becomes like he was a tiger before, now he becomes a cat, pussy cat. Whatever wife says, he listens now. When he becomes old, his androgens, his testosterone levels goes down and he becomes completely very, very not good enough, very, very inferior feeling. So we see this in our world, and there's a solid research-based information this is. So I want to show, meanwhile, a case study Dr. Lakshmi will be sharing. I'll show a 10 commandments of marriage
Yes.
to just show you, be enlightened about marriages.
So friends, Dr. Newton said it's also about to grow spiritually. The relationship, the togetherness we have. So I just want to share this case study about somebody, a man, who wanted to meditate, who wanted to do sadhana, who wanted to be a seeker. He was a very sincere seeker. But whenever he used to sit for meditation, his wife used to come and shake him. What are you doing? Doing nothing like this. You are such a useless fellow. You don't know how to love your wife. You don't know how to care for your wife. You're just sitting like this. And he was feeling so bad about that because he really wanted to know. So he always had this question, why did I attract this wife? A wife who doesn't allow me to meditate. A wife who doesn't allow me to go for something, self-empowering or self-healing workshops or conferences. Always he had this doubt. And one day he came to us because this question was bothering him. And when he attended a workshop, in that workshop he realized the root cause for this issue, that problem was, in a past life, both of them were wife and husband. The same relationship. But in that lifetime, they had 12 children. No money. Every day, the children are crying for food, crying for everything, and this father has nothing to offer. It was so painful. And then he thought, oh my God, samsara is such a miserable thing. Taking care of this nagging wife and these children who are crying all the time with no money. Oh my God, samsara is miserable. I just want to run away from this samsara. And he ran away from his family. He left his wife, he left all his children, and he left to Himalayas. So my dear friends, I'm not saying everyone who goes to Himalayas are like that. But some of us, we want to run away from the problems. We want to run away from the suffering. And he ran away like that, leaving the whole responsibility on wife so that the wife could take care of all the children. And she lived her life, entire life, working, taking care of the children. And now in this lifetime, you can understand why that wife is behaving like that. Whenever he's sitting in meditation, she has a fear that he will run away from his responsibilities. He will leave the family. That fear is stopping her, and she is not allowing him to meditate. So friends, here we can understand, even here, this wife is mirroring to him about his fear that is hidden with him. That belief he is carrying that samsara is miserable. Samsara means pain. And then when he understood this root cause, he understood, yes, I ran away from my responsibility. I just left everything onto this poor wife. She had to take care of my children. She had to work day and night. And he realized that he could understand the big picture. And then he realized that in this lifetime, my lesson is not to run away from my responsibilities. In this lifetime, I accept my responsibility. I will make sure my life will change and both of us will grow together. And he was patient with his wife. He was so compassionate with his wife, and within 1 year, his wife started transforming, started changing. Oh my God, my husband is so loving. He's so patient with me. And she also changed. And she also started meditating, and both of them started living a happy life.
a woman opens her heart just like a flower. Once she opens the heart, her heart never closes again. So it is the man who has to win the heart of the woman. It's very important. In whatever way it is. So, the beautiful things that I would like to, yeah. Thank you. Next. Yeah, marriages are made in heaven, but so are thunder and lightning. So, we always think that, oh, marriages are made in heaven, oh, it will be very heavenly. But many, even thunders will be there, lightning will be there. Many people get shocked after marriage. After honeymoon is over, everything is, before I like ice cream, they also say, I like also ice cream. I like strawberries. Oh, I like strawberries. But after 1 year, they say, I hate strawberries. I don't like air condition. I have to please regulate the temperature 24 degrees centigrade. And wife says, I want 18 degrees centigrade. They fight for air conditions. So, everywhere in the breakfast, everywhere the conflict, everywhere the story continues. Next. If you want your wife to listen and pay full attention to every word you say, talk in your sleep. You can say many things in your sleep. She listens. Next one. Marriage is grand and divorce can cost at least 100 grand. Much more. Next. Married life can be very frustrating. In the first year of marriage, the man speaks and the woman listens. Next. In the second year, the woman speaks and the man listens. In the third year, they both speak and the neighbors listen. Next. When a man opens the door of his car for his wife, you can be sure of one thing. Either the car is new or the wife is. Next. Marriage is when a man and woman become one. The trouble starts when they try to decide which one. Next. Before marriage, a man will lie awake all night thinking about something you said. After marriage, he will fall asleep before you finish talking. So you will find that before marriage and after marriage, there's a hell of a difference. Every man wants a wife who is beautiful, understanding, economical, and good cook. But the law allows only one wife. Next one. Marriage and love are purely matter of chemistry. That's why a wife sometimes treats her husband like toxic waste. A man is incomplete until he is married. After that, he may feel finished. They're all just jokes. Okay, thank you. You can. So why? Because people are very scared nowadays about relationships. From our experience, not that we don't have conflicts. Dr. Lakshmi is completely different. I view things differently. She has her own inner world, I have my own inner world. But we could actually step into each other's inner world. We could understand. We could actually appreciate the differences. We respect each other. There is love in couple, there is love between parents and children, but respect also is very important. Respect is another dimension itself. Without respect, love only alone will not serve any purpose. Relationships, they need both. So friends, I told about 3 things which makes everyone happy. The first thing is a happy couple. Okay, what's the second thing which makes us very happy? Can you guess? Just try. Child. Yeah. When children, laughter of children, playful children, when we see children, we feel joyful. Exactly. Child brings joy. Whenever we talk about Lord Sri Krishna, in a baby days, when he is a baby Krishna, we smile, we just want to always keep hearing Bhagavatam stories. Why? Because it brings joy. Every child is like Lord Sri Krishna for us. And what is the third thing which makes us very, very happy? When you look into the nature, a beautiful nature, it always inspires you. The trees, mountains, rivers, oceans, any beautiful nature, it makes you so joyful. And never forget that happy couple always makes you very joyful. You want to actually see them. That picture of happy couple, always it is very inspiring. That's why in India we always remember Ardhanarishwar Tattva. Parvati and Shiva, they could step into each other's inner world. They could actually realize that they are not different, they are one and the same. It's like 2 sides of the same coin. They're 2 different expressions, that's all. So when a man is able to understand the woman, create safety, secure feeling for her, her heart opens. And she will assist the man to fulfill the dream. Man has a big dreams. Man wants, because biologically man is to conquer the outer world. Wants to go out and prove the world that, oh, I can do it. I will do it. Therefore, any fights also. That's why we see that in the animal kingdom, always there's a fight, big fights between the alpha leader of the tribe, whether it is a lion tribe, a tiger tribe, or could be any tribe. Always a man has to be like a hunter. Man has to be always like has to prove. That is what biologically we are wired. In this plane, physical plane. It's not different even in the human kingdom. But as we step into meditation path, something changes. Chandrasekhar ji and Buddha CO team prepared a beautiful slides. In the morning I was seeing, in the afternoon I was seeing, from surviving to striving, striving to thriving, So what does that mean? Meditation takes us to the next levels. Not just survival, not what we were programmed, but our expansion of consciousness will make us step into, understand the other's world, the world that they are carrying. So it is so important when people are getting married, if they are able to say yes to their world, inner world. Yes, I agree to your past. I agree to your mother and your father. I agree to your culture. I agree to your language that you speak. I agree to your food habits. I agree to your everything that you're carrying. You're stepping into my life. I welcome you. It's such a beautiful thing. Generally, we don't do that. I only got married to you, not to your mother, father, I don't accept them. I only accept you. But it is not that. Marriage also means a woman brings her entire past with her. A man also brings entire past with him. Entire background will be coming. 2 families are getting married there. So most of the issues, they will come up. Even meditators, families, I have seen that. Many meditators, they are very good in meditation path, but in the relationship domain, always these triggers, and they feel very low about this. There's not a fulfilling relationships in the family life. But it's also important, so beautiful. It's worth experiencing. We have not come to live on an island. We are not islanders. We are community beings. We are social beings. We are wired like that. There is a beauty in actually meeting and also communicating, knowing the other person, and also expressing your ideas. There's something beautiful about relationships domain. So somewhere, my dear friends, we need to look into these deeper aspects. Like Dr. Lakshmi brought this beautiful concept about mirroring. How each one that you meet, not one time, you're meeting 3 times. It means a lot. It means that there is something that you both exchange. There's something that you will actually share, something that you will also learn from that other human being. Otherwise, you don't meet them. There are always mutual lessons. There's a mutual growth that human beings, when they meet, they achieve. And all relationships are spiritual, for spiritual growth. We have a belief that relationships are obstacles for our enlightenment, our path of awakening. But it is not. Never relationships are an obstacle for path of realization or path of enlightenment. Never. It is we who need to look into ourselves. What is that I need to learn about myself? What is this person reflecting to me? What is that I need to learn the lesson? What is this person mirroring me? That is very important. What agreements I made before stepping into incarnation cycle. Sometimes we come with agreements. Soul contracts. I tell you a case study of a person who is very, very much angry at her father. All the time, very, very angry. Resenting and always blaming the father. Because the father used to drink alcohol. And he never taken the responsibility of the family. All the time, he just very much in his room and not involved in the family. And she's a meditator. She learned meditation. And in meditation, what she realized is something beautiful, which shifted her. Actually, she needs a catalyst. She needs someone who trigger her growth. So, as soul, when she is deciding and pre-planning, selecting the family, and we select our parents, and she wanted someone to actually volunteer to trigger her so that this lifetime she will not deviate from the path and she will be pulled into path of meditation. So father volunteer. Father means someone, soul group, in the soul group, a soul tribe where he volunteered. I will be playing a villain role this lifetime for you. I'll come as an alcoholic father, a little bit abuser. I will be scolding. Okay? He volunteered to come here. And she is very happy there. But she has forgotten this. What kind of pre-birth plan, what kind of selections were made before incarnation cycle, before this birth taken place. And when she realized that, her respect to the father grown tremendously. What happened next is the father completely stopped alcohol without any kind of telling of anybody. He said, now the alcohol, I have to play this role so far because I need to play this role. I volunteered for this role. And he stopped it just like that. He is no more abusive. Very respectful father. So many relationships, we need to look more deeper than the surface. Surface level, many people, they become judgmental, very judgmental. They carry the whole past. They label someone as a bad person, and we never want to see the person in a wide angle lens. We have a very narrow picture. And we keep judging, we become angry at that person, and whole life we keep hating the person. One lifetime is wasted because of that. We need to see what is much more deeper aspects. So blaming and criticism is the worst thing that never a person can heal any relationship. Conscious relationships means actually stop blaming and criticizing. Take responsibility, ownership for your decision making. Yeah.
So friends, the solution is simple. Principle is very simple. It's not at all complex. There are only two types of relationships. One is someone whom you admire, someone whom you love, someone whose presence you want to be, you want to spend your time with. Understand that the qualities you are admiring in this person are there within you. You just have to actualize and manifest those qualities. That's it. It is as simple as that. And now the second type of relationship is one who is really bothering you. You're upset with this relationship. You're really so worried about this relationship, and whatever this person is saying, whatever this person is doing, it is triggering you. There's an emotional charge. If somebody is scolding you and you don't have any emotional charge, that's a different thing. But if somebody's words, behaviors are bothering you, they're triggering you, then this is the person. This person is offering you something. This person is showing you something. This person is mirroring you something which you are not able to see in yourself. So friends, a corporate leader came to us and he had a big problem. He was very successful. But one of his employees is constantly bothering him. A lady in his office, in his organization. Whatever he does, she's very aggressive, she's very angry. And she says, oh, you don't have any heart. You can't understand me. You're so rigid. You're not patient. So she's blaming him all the time, and he's very worried about that. It's really upsetting him. And he came to us. What to do? Should I go for a past life session or this session, that session? I said, you don't need any sessions for this. Whatever she's blaming you for, just make a list of it. It is as simple as that. He started making a list. Rigid, angry, aggressive, impatient, not compassionate. Wow, a big list you have made. Now, call your wife. Call your wife and ask her very gently, very lovingly, my dear wife, do you feel I have these qualities in me? Immediately he called his wife and he asked, my dear, please be authentic. Please be truthful. Do I have these qualities? After listening to all that, there is no answer from the other side. And he insisted, please, I'm willing. I'm willing to accept if it comes to you, from you, because you observe me every day. You live with me. And then she said, yes, you have all these qualities. So my dear friends, sometimes we are not able to look at our own blind spots. You might think you are very compassionate. You might think you are very loving. But you can't look at your own blind spots. And he realized that for the past so many years, he was so angry at home, with his wife, with his children, not giving them time, being very aggressive all the time. Even if the wife asks, please, can you just take me out? It's our marriage anniversary. He says, no, I don't have time. You go out. So then when he realized that, my dear friends, he accepted. Otherwise he was not in that mode. He accepted. Yes, I have all these qualities, and this lady in my organization is mirroring to me about these qualities, these negative qualities, which I am not able to see or face or acknowledge. So after understanding this, you just need to thank those people in your life who are really bothering you. So friends, after understanding this, what happened with him was, he was so open, he started understanding the big picture, and he became less judgmental about himself, he became less judgmental about others, and he started taking responsibility. He learned that lesson, and he thanked that mirror. So now, after understanding all this, are you ready for a practical experience? Are you ready? I want to see that excitement. Yes. So friends, now just remember about someone who really has hurt you in your life.
Or who pushes your buttons.
Or who pushes your buttons. Focus only on one person. Remember. Just remember somebody. And you're still carrying that hurt. You're still carrying that pain in your life. And you're not able to find any answer for that. Okay? So now, maybe friends, we'll just do this process. I request all of you to stand up. And choose a partner from this group. Just look around, not a known person. Not your wife, not your husband, not your friend. Yeah? Just choose a partner, intuitively. Okay? Are you all ready? Yes. Just stand facing like this. Like this. Let us do it very seriously, with a sacred feeling, my dear friends. Because we want to learn something, we want to understand something. Before we start this process, I just want to ask you, are you all ready for this? Are you all willing? Yes. Now just look into, like this.
Facing each other.
Facing each other. Okay, friends. Now we'll do this in complete silence. We'll not talk much, because the more we talk, the more we go into the logic. We disconnect from our feelings. You don't have a partner, ma'am? Yeah. Who has hurt you? Who has harmed you? Who has literally tortured you or bothered you, and you're still carrying. Okay?
Some music offering. That is the album.
Yeah. See, friends, the more you talk, the more you move away from your feelings. That's why it's very important to be centered and focus on that. Focus on that feeling. Focus on that hurt. Whatever you're carrying in your heart, maybe that person is not in your life, but you're still carrying that pain, that hurt. So now for the next 5 minutes, the partner or the friend who is standing in front of you is that person. And first of all, you decide who is A, who is B. Amongst yourself, who is A, who is B. Okay? First A will do the process and B will only listen and then B will do the process. Okay? Are you clear? Yes. So now A is doing the process. Now just close your eyes and just feel all that hurt. Remember that hurt. Remember those words. Remember those actions. Actions, words of that person that has hurt you so much. Remembering this hurt, remembering this pain, feeling, experiencing this pain. Now just as A, you can open your eyes and look into the eyes of this person who has hurt you, who has harmed you through his words or actions, he or she. And you just share whatever you want to share in few words. I was so hurt. It was so painful. The way you behaved with me, the way you treated me. Don't deny. Don't avoid. Just face. Express whatever you want to express. Convey this message to this person that you were hurt. It was so painful. I was so hurt. If tears are coming, it's okay to feel. Now once you're done with this, one more minute. Now B can do the sharing. B can share. And A will listen now. It can be very emotional, but it's okay. We are here to learn. We are here to heal. Just allow yourself to share whatever you felt in that moment when this person has hurt you, abused you through his or her words, actions, behaviors. Two more minutes. after acknowledging, recognizing your pain, your hurt, my dear friends, now you can stop sharing. You can be quiet. You can be silent and look into each other's eyes. Look into each other's eyes. Now you can get into that mode. Look into each other's eyes. This person who is standing in front of you is your mirror. His or her eyes symbolically represent that mirror This person standing in front of you is your mirror. And what is this mirror trying to reflect? What is that lesson that you needed to learn in this relationship? What is it that you needed to change? What is this mirror reflecting to you? Your unhealed wound? Your patterns? Your negative emotions? Or your negative beliefs? Just look into each other's eyes. And receive a message from your higher self. This person came into my life as a mirror to teach me now understanding this lesson. Now just step into each other's shoes. Change your position. You come into your change your positions. Allow yourself to take few deep breaths consciously. And now consciously you have stepped into the shoes of this person. You became this person who harmed you, who has hurt you. Allow yourself to feel how it feels to be this person. How does it feel to be this person? How does it feel looking at the world through this person's eyes? His wounds, his or her own wounds. What made them to behave the way they behaved with you? Try to understand, try to feel their perspective. After stepping into the shoes of this person, how does it feel? in these higher states of consciousness, understanding his or her perspective. With this greater understanding, can you feel compassion for this person? Are you ready to shift your perception about this person? With this greater understanding, with this greater wisdom, if you are ready to unconditionally accept this person, tell this person, I'm sorry for whatever I did in my ignorance. Please forgive me. Thank you for being my mirror. Thank you for offering me this lesson so that I could progress, I could evolve. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You can come
Thank
back
you.
to your seats.
Thank you. If you feel like hugging or thanking, you can do that. And you can take your seats.
You can sit down now for
Few more moments, few more minutes. We still need to complete.
the stillness. Just be still. You may close your eyes, my dear friends. Continuing this process through the stillness. Let meditation, let music continue, please. And I'd like you to bring your attention to your breath and your body sensations right now. Notice what you're noticing right now within you. Whatever happened, whatever inner realizations that came to you, just stay with it. Watch and observe. And observe your breathing. All relationships stem from relationship with one's own self. So right now, start slowly dropping your ego self, your smaller self, who feels that I am right, I am great, I am superior, I am this, I am that. You're carrying an identity here in the physical plane. Allow it to be dropped now. Drop it. Drop everything one by one. Become nothing, become zero, become empty, dissolve into, disappear into that nothing. Just like how you go into a temple. There are many levels that you cross. Go to the inner sanctum of the temple where there is a deity, there is God and Goddess there. You're going to meet that greater self of you, greater version of you. Allow yourself to walk through all these different gates, entering through the temple. Go to the very inner sanctum where you meet your own divine self. As you become completely absent as a egoic self, dissolving, dropping me, mine, I, and all that. Drop it, drop it. Become nothing, become zero, become empty, completely empty. Drop your body, drop your mind, drop everything. Drop your reputation, drop your money, drop whatever praises that you are given, that you are this, you are that. Drop everything, everything. Just as you reach to the innermost core of your center of your being, core of yourself, meet that divine version, the God self in you. Look at that God within you. Look at who you really are, the God. The light which emanates from that deeper place within you. Just connect to that divine essence within you. You are nothing but this essence. Become that. Become absent to everything else. Drop everything else. Become that. What you truly are. The God in you. The God that you are searching for. Suddenly you are awakened. You are awakened to that inner truth, the grander truth, that Aham Brahmasmi, your God. Even though it is hard to believe right now, just feel that divinity inside you. From that place deep within you, from that God who you really are, look at everyone that you met in this world. There are two categories of people. The people who are conscious, there are people who are unconscious. There are people who really, you admire them, you appreciate them, they're very positive mindset. They're spiritually inclined beings. There are other category of people who always triggers you, who pushes your buttons. And equally acknowledge them, looking into each one's eyes and see the God in them. In the innermost essence, deep within them, they're also gods. Some who are awakened, some who are not yet awakened. Some who are on the way, on this journey to awaken the true reality, the truth. Some who have realized already. Right now, step into this, a beautiful divine connection with yourself and divine connection with everything else, everyone else around you. In this deep stillness, silence within, may this appreciation to what you realized, appreciation for all the people, acknowledging them, your own family members, your own spouse, or your own children, or your own siblings. It could be dead ones or living ones. It doesn't matter. All of them. And also your neighbors, your friend circle, your social circles. To everyone. Extend it to everyone. In this stillness, just be who you really are. Dissolving this smaller identity and beyond this physical smaller identity, that Nirguna Tattva, Nirakara Tattva, formless. Just there is only light. The God within you and God within everyone. Just spend one more minute realizing, deepening this, integrating this. The truth of who everyone else is. This consciousness which has become very conscious. You've become conscious of your consciousness. You've become aware of your awareness right now. See, this field is not only individual field, it is the collective. It is the group consciousness. It is the entire world. It is inclusive. It is the entire system. With this, just you can start returning to here and now, to the body. Feel your toes of your feet, feel your fingertips, feel your breath. Bring your entire awareness back into your body fully here and now. A smile which is from your heart, smiling from your heart, smiling from your bones, bone marrow, smiling from every organ, smiling from every cell, because this is such a profound realization. Smiling from your lips and mouth and face, and slowly you may take your time to open your eyes, feeling fresh, relaxed, conscious, awakened. Wonderful, my dear friends.
So friends, you can turn to your friend who is sitting next to you and you can say, I am divine.
You are divine too.
Can you say this? I am divine. You are divine too. Everyone else is divine. Every animal is divine. Every plant is divine. The whole creation is divine. And let us all together say, from this moment onwards, I choose love. I choose love.
Music.
I choose love.
There's a music track, I Choose Love. Can it be played?
So we'll just stand, all of us. What a beautiful, beautiful realization we all had.
Thank you song.
Yeah,
Thank you.
anything. We'll
Okay,
just.
thank you or I Choose Love.
Yeah. You can come this side.
Expressing the gratitude to Buddha CEO.
Thank you, Chandra. Thank you, Karthikeyan sir.
And Buddha CEO, entire team. Karthikeyan ji.
Our guiding force. Yeah. You're always our guiding force. Chandra, Vani, Sagar, Bindhu, and the entire Buddha CEO.
Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause